Peter Greste will not rest until colleagues freed. Al-Jazeera journalist Peter Greste will not rest until his colleagues are released from prison in Egypt, his family says. After 400 days behind bars, Mr. Greste was freed and deported on Sunday. He landed safely in Cyprus, on his way to his native Australia. He was arrested in 2013 and tried on charges that included spreading false news and aiding the Muslim Brotherhood. Two Al Jazeera colleagues, Mohamed Fahmy and Mr Mohamed, remain jailed. Mr. Fahmy, who holds dual Egyptian and Canadian citizenship, may be freed after having his Egyptian nationality revoked, presidential sources said. But there are still concerns about Mr. Mohamed, who holds no dual nationality. Mr. Greste spoke about his concerns for his colleagues to his family after his release. Small cogs. Speaking at a press conference in the Australian city of Brisbane, Brother Andrew Greste said, "We want to acknowledge that Peter's two other colleagues are still there." His father Joris Greste said that they felt very deeply for those left behind. Andrew Greste also thanked all those who had supported his brother and worked for his release. "We are small cogs in this massive campaign," he said. Australia's Foreign Minister Julie Bishop said Peter Greste had told her in a telephone conversation that he was eager to return to his family in Brisbane. He was immensely relieved and he was desperate to come home to Australia and reunite with his family, said Ms. Bishop. "From my discussion with him, he was very keen to be back on a beach and lying in the sun in Australia." Line. Timeline. Journalists' detention. Mohamed Fahmy, Mr Mohamed, and Peter Greste, file. Mr. Fahmy, left, and Mr. Mohamed remain in jail. December 29, 2013, Peter Greste and Mohamed Fahmy arrested in police raid on Cairo's Marriott Hotel. Mr. Mohamed later arrested at home. January 29, 2014, 20 people including the 3 journalists referred to trial, charged with spreading false news, belonging to a terrorist organization and operating without a permit. February 22, first court appearance of the 3 journalists. June 23, defendants sentenced to 7 years, with Mr Mohamed receiving an additional 3 years. November 12, President Sisi signs decree allowing repatriation of foreign prisoners. January 1, 2015, highest court orders retrial, but the 3 journalists not allowed bail. How journalists were jailed in Egypt. Who are the jailed journalists? Line. The 3 journalists had been accused of collaborating with the banned Muslim Brotherhood after the overthrow of President Mohamed Morsi by the military in 2013. All the defendants denied the charges against them and said their trial was a sham. Mr. Fahmy and Mr. Greste and were sentenced to 7 years in prison and Mr. Mohamed to 10. Mr. Greste's release came after a long international campaign. His family said that he was in great spirits and would return to Australia when he felt ready. "He is safe, healthy, and very very happy to be on his way home," his brother said. His mother, Lois Greste, said she had been quietly dreaming about this moment. "I think he will recover well," she added. Orla Guerin, Peter Greste and his colleagues insist that the only thing they are guilty of is doing their jobs. The first hints of her son's release came in November, when President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi said he was considering granting pardons to the 2 foreign Al Jazeera journalists. He had earlier signed a decree on repatriating foreign prisoners. Then in January, Egypt's top court ordered a retrial of all 3 men. Mr. Greste's release was eventually confirmed by a statement issued by the Egyptian Interior Ministry.